Hello, everybody. Thank you to our course today. Thank you for joining our course today regarding how to manage logins, websites, passwords, and usernames in the OneView system. When you come to your system, just please remember that the blue navigation bar is your team navigation bar. So any feature or functionality that you're using here relates to the team you actually have selected here as well. So logins, again, are team specific. When you click on the login feature, it's meant, again, to solve the ability for you to create a centralized list related to this team or organization that may include a website, username and password that belongs to a provider or a coordinator. To do so, you come to the far right-hand side and add login. The owner, again, when you put your cursor in that field, will show you the list of coordinators on your team. And if you scroll down, your full list of providers is available as well. I can go in here, for example, I'm going to head and add a new actual website related to Kelsey Brannigan, who's one of my providers. I'm going to use AMA as an example. Going to come down again, choose the AMA website. The URLs will drop in automatically. The bottom URL is typically for the first time you register that provider to use a profile on AMA. The top actual website will be for ongoing maintenance of that profile. So again, so if there's two, the bottom is typically the first time you set up the actual username and password and profile for that provider. The top one will be the ongoing maintenance of that profile as well. When you enter username and password here, I'm going to put in my information here, and whatever they may be. The note field is meant, again, to store anything related to security questions about the password or tips. As soon as you hit save, again, it's going to add it to the list. You can see it here again. If I come over again, here's my Kelsey Brannigan, use my edit button. When I open up the actual screen now, the data entry screen, the username and password fields are encrypted. In order to see the values behind it, I'm required to put my password in. So same password you use when you log into OneView, you'll have to use here again for the username and password. So I click on the I, I'm going to put my password in here again for my coming into OneView. It'd be helpful to type it right there. Okay, now I can see the values behind it. Because these are secure fields, you're not able to launch, again, the website, and these will default in. You will have to use your copy and paste function, launch the website, again, paste in the username and password, whatever it may be here. And again, you'll be able to go right into that profile related to whoever, again, who on the team it belongs to. All right, so again, these secure fields, just like driver license security number, are going to be encrypted. You'll have to re-enter your OneView password one more time to see the values behind it. Copy and paste, hit the green arrow to launch the website, and you'll go right out there, put the information in, and you'll be in that profile with AMA, in this case for my provider, Kelsey Brannigan. Right? Again, coming from left to right, the owner of the username and password is here. P is for provider, C is for coordinator. If they're state specific, they'll be listed here, or if they're national. If it's an active, again, username and password will be here as well. You also will see ones that are archived, inactive, and flagged. The actual category it falls into, so different ways in which you might be adding username and passwords, and of course the site name specifically. Come back here again for a second. This flagged status was meant, again, to help support. If you have a website, you have to go out on some kind of interval level, recurring maybe every 90 days or so, and reset those passwords. You can use the flagged to identify those websites. All right, so again, I'll come in here, for example, I'm gonna use my healthcare payer. I'm gonna set my flag on it. Again, this is gonna remind me, again, just in some kind of, again, just a minimum way in the user interface. This is something I have to, again, make sure I come in and again, update that password every 90 days, whatever it may be. All right. Also remember, again, that logins are team specific. So for example, on Theo, again, if I added, again, this actual prescription monitoring program website in the Modio University team, which is where I added it, if I come back over my teams for a minute, I'm going to change my team over to Modio University to Modio Health Practice Demo. Theo sits on both rosters, my university team and our practice demo team. You can see him here. If I come into the login screen, you're not going to see that Medicaid login for Theo over here. So I type in Theo's name here. Again, because I added it, when I was in the university training team, and logins again, blue navigation bar, team specific. I am not seeing that Medicaid website here. Again, so always keeping in mind, based on the team you had the login to, is where you'll have visibility to the logins. We're asked a question again around whether or not you can copy the logins from one team to another. So in the current state of the platform, that's not available. They'd have to be keyed in manually. Right. Also, again, come back to my university team. Remembering again that, everything on the blue navigation bar is team specific, as well as onboarding. So in part of the onboarding feature, you do have the ability to include in your onboarding invitation and application, the ability to add logins. So if a provider like Theo was to log in, I use Kelsey for a change. I use Kelsey. If she was to get the onboarding invitation, and I come back and show you my actual application, and she was to complete the application, apologize for the navigation here. On the bottom of my actual application, there's logins. If Kelsey was to add these logins, they will populate in the login screen up here for the Modio University team. Again, so on the onboarding, state specific, onboarding is team specific. So if a provider completes the onboarding application and adds logins, again, apologize for the scrolling, at the bottom of your application, these logins will be stored and can be visible only on the university team in the login feature. And so always keeping in mind, again, blue navigation bar, team specific. In the case of the logins, again, if I send it or edit from here, that's only place I can see it. I'd have to jump into the other team if I needed them here and re-add them here if need be as well. Right, so again, team specific, based on where the onboarding is going out of or where you're adding them, that is where those logins are visible. Right. If you need a report on your logins, that is something, again, you're going to have to request from our team. That's something you'd send over to support@modiohealth.com, and our team can generate for you whenever you need to have it, an actual Excel report of all your logins with username and passwords as well. If you have a problem adding a login, you go to add a login for a provider and the system is not allowing you to save it. Very often that might be that login already exists in your list for that provider. Again, it will not allow you to duplicate. Again, so the system will prevent you from duplicating a login that you're adding for a provider. Again, come back one more time, add login. They can belong to your coordinators or a provider. They could also belong to an organization. So if you have created a credentialing record, what we call a facility credentialing record for your organization or organizations, you can again create an org level. I'm just going to use CAQH again as an example. I would choose here again my organization sign in, and yes, I can create and store passwords again for logins for my actual organization here, whatever website is applicable. Right. So again, as long as there's an individual credentialing record on your roster, facility or otherwise, you can create logins related to any of these actual credentialing records. And then again, coming back here one more time. Again, so the flag status, again, meant to say recurring every 90 days. So for example, I have to renew or update my password. If it now becomes inactive, you can use the inactive status as well. And of course, active is what you would see there. If for some reason you go to add a login and you're not seeing it in the drop-down list, so come in here again, use Kaylin here, for example. Let's say that I needed something in here related to, let's say Michigan. And it didn't show up actually in my drop-down list here. Go ahead and add the information you have, including the information here, and then send over to our support team that you need this new website added to the login feature. And please include in that the actual URL link. So go out to that Michigan website and just copy that link in the email you send to our support team, and even reference, if you will, that on which one of your teams or team was that actually added or attempted to be added here, and who the account owner is as well. And our team will add any website missing from the login feature itself. Right. Pretty simple method. Again, the really intention here is again that because this is a website with username and passwords that are used again to manage your business, a part of your business, are really organization specific. So this allows you again to create that list of logins, stabilize that username and password experience. Should an employee turn over for whatever reason, these username and passwords are not going with them. Right. Again, this is work that they do on behalf of your organization. They can all be stored here. Should turnover happen, or God forbid somebody goes out unexpectedly, again, those logins are here for you to use and keep your business moving forward. Okay. Again, if you need a report on your logins, that's something you request to our support team at support@modiohealth.com. A couple of questions on our last course. Again, go up to Modio U for a moment. Upcoming courses will be loaded here. And if you scroll down for a second, these new courses we're doing now that are no more than 15 or 30 minutes long are listed on the university mini courses. So again, the one for today, again, you'll see posted probably within a few days from our marketing team, and it'll be here for you to use or share with your other team members as needed. Again, these mini courses are no more than 30 minutes. In comparison, the original 101 and 109 courses, which are really deep dives into the feature and functionality, including context on what they're meant to solve and how they're meant to be used and optimized. These are about an hour long. The mini courses, again, are more workflow. They're more directed towards your workflows. And again, meant to be mini courses, no more than 15 to 30 minutes, much easier for you to watch as well. All right, so again, watch for them to be loaded there. And again, on the registration link, upcoming courses can be found here. And we have 3 more scheduled before this next quarter is out. Okay. All right, so thank you. If you have any questions, please reach out to our support team and we'll be happy to help. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.